Hope everybody's had a great day, and you're inside another edition of Voice of Victory Lane with Kip Thompson. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I can tell you, I know I sure did. I was able to go to a racetrack that I've never been to before, and we're going to get into that in just a moment. And we are super excited about the guest that we have on the show tonight. It is going to be awesome, so just hold tight. As we get started, we always thank our sponsor for their show, Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm sporting their new swag right here. My sponsor gave me a T-shirt, so I must be doing something right. I promise you this, if you'll call them, they'll do you right, because these guys are great. Raging Rooster Catering, Tony and Bobby Jackson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. You can find them on Facebook at Raging Rooster Catering. You can find their email address and their phone number, and those guys will hook you up for any event that you may have. And as always, you know, I always got to show off Rooster's all-purpose seasoning. This stuff is the best seasoning known to man. I use this every time I cook. I take stuff off the grill. Let me just go ahead and tell you, nothing is ever fully prepared or done until you use the Rooster's all-purpose seasoning. So thank you to our show sponsors. Big shout out to Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. All right, fans, let me kind of set the tone for tonight and give you a little introduction of what our show is going to be tonight. This weekend, I had an opportunity to go to a racetrack, like I said earlier, that I've never been to before. Rockfish Speedway over in Rayford, North Carolina. And I just want to tell all the fans, all the viewers, the people who follow our page and watch us on a weekly basis, if you have never been to Rockfish Speedway, I'm telling you, you are missing out. Bill Dobler and those guys have an awesome place. It is, it's really kind of cool how you can go to a place like that, a place you've never been to before, and feel right like you're at home. These guys have a family atmosphere. The place was absolutely packed, cars everywhere, and just a great show. And tonight, we're going to highlight one of the drivers who captured a win this weekend inside the Rockfish Speedway. The first series that was out on the track, it was the Junior Sprints, and 17 cars, and it was great racing right from the start all the way up to the end. But tonight, we're going to talk to the winner, and we're super excited to have this driver on the show with us, not only because it was this driver's first time win inside the Rockfish Speedway. This is making history for our show right here at Voice of Victory Lane. Tonight, this is the first female driver that we've ever had, and we're super excited to have the driver of the number 25 Junior Sprint car out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Taniyah. How are you?
Good.
Taniyah Keith, the feature winner Saturday night. I tell you, that was a great show. The racetrack looked like it was in great shape, and you just did an awesome job.
Thank you.
So holding off all those guys behind you, how's that feel? Girl power or what?
I mean, it was hard a little bit, but we finished.
Yeah, you did a wonderful job. And, you know, I have to tell you, as I was at that racetrack, the one thing that I love about a racetrack like Rockfish is like being a spectator. You can go to the racetrack, and for a fan, you can see all the way around the racetrack. And as that race was going on, right in turn number 1, there's like a real big red platform up there. And I was standing right there. So I was watching, like, you know, this whole entire race. And me not knowing that much about Rockfish, and you and I had never met before the weekend, I didn't even know exactly who that was driving the 25. And I was like, whoever's driving that 25 who's driving the wheels off of that thing, you know, to hold everybody behind her, you know, and to be able to stay up front. Well, as the race ended, I came down because I just love hearing people interview people in Victory Lane, because it's something that I do. And I have to tell you, your interview in Victory Lane was absolutely awesome. You were super excited. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, it was very, very emotional, you know, knowing that I never had a win at Rockfish. Although at Triple T, I did get my first win, but it was just amazing to make a memory.
Well, one thing that I can tell you, I love the word that you just used, because I was on a show one time. I was a guest on a show where the guys were talking about the Voice of Victory Lane. And I want to let you know, that the guys asked me, okay, being in Victory Lane, being the voice of Victory Lane and talking to drivers all the time, if you could put one word on what it feels like to be in Victory Lane all the time, what would it be? Myself, along with Robert Kitchens, who was one of the hosts of the shows, it was on Shine Runners Radio, the word we came up with was emotion. And Taniyah Keith, I want to let you know that Saturday night, as I sat in those bleachers and I listened to that announcer interview you, and when I heard the crack of your voice, and I could just tell that the tears were flowing down your face, it hit me right dead in my chest that the word that we had come up with a long time ago was emotion. Your spirit and your emotion in Victory Lane, I mean, it just captured my heart. It captured the heart of every person that was in that racetrack in that facility Saturday night. And it was just awesome. So we know that you did win at Triple T a couple of weeks ago, but something about Rockfish, that is just has to be a very special win for you.
Yeah, it is.
Is Rockfish like a track that you've raced before and you just haven't had good luck, or is it just real hard to win there?
Well, it's not that it's bad luck. It's just sometimes you have to just try your best to win. But, like, if you don't get there, it's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Because what happens is when this race is behind us, the only thing that matters is the next race. And I know that I can tell that you put a lot into it and everything. And I just, on behalf of our staff at Voice of Victory Lane, for me to be there and to witness that, and it's just ironic that when I ask a young person like you, a 12-year-old who goes to Douglas Byrd Middle School, it's just awesome to me that you and I click, that we use that same word about being emotional. Because to me, why I say it's emotional is because I have the opportunity to interview drivers on a weekly basis. And where I am, you may have a driver who wins multiple races throughout the year. But on any given Saturday, there happens to be that one person that captures maybe the first win in their career, or in your case, you captured the first win ever for you at the Rockfish Speedway. And I want to let you know, I felt the emotion of that with you. I was so proud of you, and I was so excited. And I just want to let you know, it was just an awesome, awesome event. It was something awesome to see, the emotion that you shared with all of us. And I was honored. I was honored to share that moment, just to be in the crowd, just to hear that and share that with you.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's talk about a little bit about what got you started in racing. I heard a little funny story earlier today. Robbie was telling me about his days of running at Dublin. So you wanted to drive one of his cars like a long time ago. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so whenever you got in, what was he telling you? Hey, your feet won't hit the pedals. What, tell us about that.
Well, I asked him to drive it, but every time I'd go down to the pedals, I couldn't even see over the steering wheel. And I tried my best, but I couldn't get there yet.
So not being able to drive his car. So when was the first time you drove a junior sprint?
End of the season, last season, it's when I first started driving.
Well, if you started driving really on a competitive basis at the end of last season, and we're only maybe 3/4 of the way through this season, you've already picked up 2 wins, I think we could probably look to see you in Victory Lane a bunch more times, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right, fans. Well, listen, we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to hear from our show sponsor, Raging Rooster Catering, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Taniyah Keith, who was the feature winner in the junior sprints this past weekend at the Rockfish Motor Speedway. Driver the number 25 out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We're making history tonight. The first female driver ever on our show. Again, it's Taniyah Keith. We're going to hear from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Tonight's show is being sponsored by Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We cater any event, big or small, weddings, holiday events, and festivals. Call us today, 910-237-4565. Follow us on Facebook at Raging Rooster Catering. We invite you to come get you some. Okay, race fans, welcome back to the second part of another edition of Inside Voice of Victory Lane with Kip Thompson. Our special guest tonight, she's the driver of the number 25 Junior Sprint car out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Taniyah Keith. She put on an awesome show this past weekend, and just an unbelievable, heartfelt moment in Victory Lane when she begins to thank her parents, the people who helped her along the way. This girl is just awesome. People get behind this young lady. And I tell you something else I need to work out with you, Taniyah. I was looking on your Facebook page today. You got some pretty cool number 25 t-shirts. You got any of those left available?
Yeah.
You got one of those? You got one of those in an extra large?
You have to order them.
Okay, that's fine. I want to order one. And if you would, since you're actually the first female driver to be on our show, I'd love for you to take a Sharpie and like on the shoulder, the back or whatever. Would you autograph it for me?
Yes, sir.
That sounds like a deal. We're going to work that out. I promise you. Okay. There are a lot of people, that have a hand in keeping the race car going on a weekly basis. And I know that it's got to take a lot of people for the way that number 25 was getting around that racetrack Saturday night. Let's talk about tonight some of the people that help you from week to week to get you to and from back and forth from the racetrack.
Well, my stepfather, Robbie, he helps my grandfather. My aunt, my mom.
Hey, well, let's make a joke real quick about your mom real quick. Was she so excited at the race Saturday night that she got hurt?
Yes, sir.
I heard about that. She was jumping up and down, and I heard what she messed up, maybe a muscle in her leg or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Well, she needs to recoup and rest and get better, because I know that number 25 is going to be back on the racetrack soon. So she's probably going to be jumping again. I know you headed back to Victory Lane, or that's the hope anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so some of the sponsors, I know you have a couple of sponsors you also want to say thank you to.
Shoot the Gap, Mandy's Creations, Fat Daddy's Garage, Carolina Outlaw Super Street, Charles Davis Carburetors.
Yeah, well, it takes a whole lot of people to be able to put a race car together and to form a team. And you guys have done a phenomenal job. And again, I just want to let everybody know that, hey, if you have not been to the Rockfish Speedway, you got to go. This place is just unbelievable. A great, great family atmosphere. You get out at a good time. These guys run a show, a very timely show to get things going. Track was in great shape the other night at Rockfish. And again, just a big, huge shout out to Bill Dober, the whole entire staff. It was just an awesome night. And what was really cool, again, is to be able to just sit back and watch the race. And I didn't have to work. I was just sitting there enjoying checking out a different speedway that I've never been to before. And this young lady, 12 years old, driving the number 25, Taniyah Keith, just stole my heart and just stole everybody there with her emotion in Victory Lane. And tonight, we want to take time to congratulate you again on that big win.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about from here on out. Now, we've been to the Rockfish Speedway this weekend. I know you think you got another race maybe coming up at Lakeview. Is that right?
I don't know.
Okay, well, maybe Lakeview's got you guys on the schedule again a little bit later, but also you are planning on going to County Line Raceway in Elm City, North Carolina for the annual kids race. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, we hope to find out kind of what you guys have got going on. We would love to help promote you on the Voice of Victory Lane Facebook page. We'll anything that we see that you guys are doing, anything that we see that's tied and connected to you, we're going to help, try to promote you and get you a bunch of fans, because it's not going to take me to do a whole lot of work, because you do the other night and put that thing up front and just kind of steal the show with the emotion, you're going to do it all on your own. You're going to be just fine.
Thank you.
Do you guys have like a team Facebook page, or if people want to follow what you do with your racing, do they could just go like to your regular Facebook page, or do you have a designated racing Facebook page?
Just my Facebook page.
Okay, and tell people how they can find that. What did it look? They just look up Taniyah Keith on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that sounds great. Everybody, please go and give a like on her page. Follow this young lady. She is an awesome kid. Got a heart as big as the ocean. She's a little nervous about being on the show tonight, but hey, I was just tickled to death to have her agree to be on the show with us, because we were just able to be with her and help capture a very, very special moment at Rockfish Speedway. And on behalf of our entire staff and all of our fans and the people who follow us, we were just delighted not only to be there to witness that, but also to have this young lady. She's a wonderful young lady with a great future ahead of her, out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Again tonight, our special guest, making history, the first female driver on our show, our friend Taniyah Keith. Thank you so much, Taniyah, for being on the show.
You're welcome.
And you'll do it again, right?
Yes, sir.
If you win again, I'm gonna have you on here again. So go and get ready. I'm gonna go and pencil you in now, okay?
Okay.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching tonight. For Taniyah Keith, I am Kip Thompson, voice of Victory Lane, and we always want to give a big shout out to our sponsor as we close our show, Raging Rooster Catering out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Tony and Bobby Jackson. These guys will feed up to 25 people or more. Great menu, great staff, great food. I promise you want to check those guys out. And as always, as we close the show, hey, be on the lookout. I could be coming to a racetrack near you. You could be who we're talking about next on our show. Voice of Victory Lane. Follow us on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. And follow us on Facebook. And you can like our page and share all the stuff that you see and what's going on with racing in our area, whether it be dirt, asphalt, karting, whatever it is. And also, one more time, make sure before this year is over, if you have not done it yet, if you've never been before, go to Rockfish Speedway and check those guys out. You will have a good time. I promise. Hey, and when you get there, tell them the Voice of Victory Lane sent you. Have a good night, everybody. We'll be talking to you soon.